He took Ozempic to lose weight and dropped 30 pounds in just 3 months. But then, everything changed. One morning, he woke up and couldn't see. Not blurred, not fading, completely gone. Permanent blindness. No warning, no cure. One diabetic patient's story: a father, a retired engineer, a diabetic. In March 2023, his doctor prescribed Ozempic. Within weeks, he was losing weight and seeing results. But one morning, he opened his eyes and saw nothing. His world had gone dark. Literally. Doctors diagnosed him with NIAN, non-arteritic anterior ischemic optic neuropathy, a rare but irreversible condition that kills the optic nerve. The cause? His legal team points the finger squarely at Ozempic. But what is Ozempic, and why would it cause such a devastating side effect? Ozempic is the brand name for semaglutide, a powerful drug in the class called GLP-1 receptor agonists. Originally approved for type 2 diabetes, it works by mimicking a gut hormone to increase insulin production, slow digestion, and reduce appetite. For many diabetics, it's a breakthrough. For others, especially those using it off-label for weight loss, it's become a sensation, a shortcut to rapid results. But like all drugs, it carries risks. And some of those risks are blinding. His lawsuit alleges that Novo Nordisk, the pharmaceutical giant behind Ozempic, knew of these risks but failed to warn doctors and patients. Why? Because vision loss isn't a profitable talking point. A recent Harvard-linked study found something chilling. Diabetics on Ozempic were 4 times more likely to develop NIAN. Non-diabetic weight loss users, up to 7 times more likely. NIAN, or non-arteritic anterior ischemic optic neuropathy, occurs when the blood flow to the optic nerve is suddenly blocked. The optic nerve is the cable connecting your eyes to your brain. When it's starved of oxygen and nutrients, nerve fibers die, and your vision disappears. It's painless, sudden, and often permanent. No surgery can reverse it. No treatment restores what's lost. And yet, this devastating side effect is absent from Ozempic's official label. Patients report waking up with patches of blindness, blurred or dimmed vision, sometimes in one eye, sometimes both. Hundreds of reports have flooded the FDA in 2024 alone, detailing vision loss and eye damage linked to Ozempic. But most patients, like our diabetic patient, never knew they were at risk. And the risks don't end with NIAN. A recent study from Israel has uncovered an even darker possibility. Ozempic users appear twice as likely to develop a bleeding eye disorder called neovascular age-related macular degeneration, or NAMD. This condition causes abnormal blood vessels to grow behind the retina, the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye. These fragile vessels leak fluid, causing swelling and scarring. Vision becomes distorted, then gradually lost. Early symptoms are subtle, a slight blurring, a dark spot, wavy lines. By the time most patients notice, irreversible damage has often occurred. The lead author of the Israeli study didn't mince words. We believe semaglutide, the active ingredient in Ozempic, may influence abnormal vessel growth in the retina. What does that mean in plain English? It means Ozempic might be quietly rewiring your eyes, altering how blood vessels grow, causing fragile, unstable vessels to form in places they don't belong. This condition, neovascular age-related macular degeneration, or NAMD, is a silent predator. At first, there are no symptoms, no pain, no warning signs, just slow, irreversible destruction from within. It starts with microscopic leaks behind the retina. A drop here, a bleed there, until central vision begins to warp, like looking through a cracked lens. Then distortion. Then blindness. Take Brad Roberts, a 44-year-old tech executive from Arizona. Smart, driven, seemingly healthy. But like millions of Americans, Brad struggled quietly with weight. Not obesity, just a few stubborn pounds that wouldn't budge. Then came Ozempic, a miracle they called it. The injection that melts fat away. It was all over TikTok, Instagram, even the nightly news. Friends were using it. Influencers swore by it. And so Brad made a decision he'd soon regret. He wasn't diabetic. He didn't have a history of chronic illness, just a visit to a sleek, modern weight loss clinic, a short virtual consult, a few clicks, a prescription, no endocrinologist, no screening, no warning. Weeks later, Brad was down 15 pounds. He felt fantastic. Until the lights appeared, flashes, sparks, strange halos that danced around his vision. First in one eye, then the other. He told himself it was stress, too much screen time, maybe allergies. But the flashes didn't fade, they intensified. Brad finally went to an ophthalmologist, and that's when everything changed. The diagnosis? Bilateral retinal damage, both eyes. The condition? Aggressive, fast-moving retinopathy, irreversible. The specialist told him the likely cause was vascular disruption, changes in the blood vessels feeding his retina. Brad asked, "Could it be the Ozempic?" The doctor paused, then said quietly, "There's growing concern." Brad was devastated. His vision, his independence, his work, his life, now compromised. Today, he's suing Novo Nordisk for failing to adequately warn about these risks. But that's not all. Brad is also suing the clinic that prescribed him the drug. No pre-screening, no risk disclosure, no informed consent. In a televised interview, Brad said, "I trusted the system. Everyone made it seem safe, effortless, but no one said anything about blindness. Not a word." And Brad's story is just one of many. Off-label use of Ozempic has exploded, driven by celebrity endorsements, wellness influencers, and a culture obsessed with instant results. Clinics hand out prescriptions after 5-minute consultations. Online portals ship it to your door. No eye exams, no retinal scans, no long-term safety plans. This isn't medicine. It's marketing gone rogue. And now, the fallout is only beginning. Vision loss, lawsuits, lives permanently changed. And the worst part? Many still don't know what's coming. Because the ads keep running, the influencers keep posting, and Ozempic keeps selling. But behind every syringe is a story like Brad's. And some stories don't have happy endings. What's happening inside the body to cause these eye issues? GLP-1 receptor agonists like Ozempic affect blood sugar and appetite, but they also influence blood vessel growth and inflammation. In the eye, this can disrupt delicate vascular systems, causing leaks and blockages. For some patients, this means permanent blindness. Medical experts caution that patients with pre-existing eye conditions, high blood pressure, or poor circulation may be at higher risk. But these warnings are rarely communicated to patients. One anonymous patient shared, "I lost my sight overnight. I couldn't believe it. I trusted my doctor. No one warned me. Now I live in darkness." Stories like these are becoming all too common. But many patients don't come forward, fearing stigma or medical distrust, and pharmaceutical companies continue to minimize the risks. So, what can you do if you or a loved one are using Ozempic? First, be informed. Ask your doctor about the risks to your vision. Report any vision changes immediately. Get regular eye exams, especially if you have diabetes or other risk factors. If you notice sudden vision loss, seek emergency care. There's also growing pressure on regulators. The FDA is now reviewing these adverse event reports carefully. Lawsuits may force pharmaceutical companies to update labels, improve warnings, or even face financial penalties. Patient advocacy groups are demanding transparency and stronger protections, but the battle is far from over. Millions of people continue to use Ozempic, unaware of the dangers lurking behind the promise of rapid weight loss. For some, the cost is their vision. For others, their trust in medicine. If you or someone you love is using Ozempic, don't stay silent. Ask the tough questions. Demand the full truth. Because once your sight is gone, it's gone forever. This isn't just a warning, it's a plea. Share this video. Save a life. Protect someone's future. Your vision and theirs is too precious to risk.